Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cow Daily. This is quite simply a weekly roundup, and I'm going to talk about something I've mentioned in a previous show this week about how Liz Truss's government is now more far right than Brothers of Italy. We'll come on to that later. Also, develop an NHS attack line that's happening with the right-wing ghoul press. We'll flag a bit of that up as well. Also, I've noticed a few people don't know how to leave reviews and that kind of thing. So I've put together a little thing so it makes it easier for people. But also, first thing, thanks to everybody for all of your support this week. I think we've put, is it 4 shows out or 3? I can't even remember. But what I'm buzzing about is just to the enforced break is over. And we're back to the start of the new term, which is an absolute belter. So what I want to thank you for is we've went up to number 18 in the podcast charts overnight, which obviously wouldn't be happening without you. So thanks so much. I mean, for me, it's really pleasing simply because when I was seriously ill, I never even thought I'd be able to sort of talk. Never mind talk, produce the show, edit, that kind of shit. I wasn't even sure whether I could string a sentence together at some point, and my brain just didn't work. Brain fog is a motherfucker, and I know there's a lot of you out there who know how much of a problem it is. It's something I've still got to manage now, to be honest. At the minute, I'm grafting, but I'm grafting between sort of 6:30 and 12, and then I'll rest for a bit, and then on to the next thing. I'm trying to get the balance right between not coming back into being seriously ill and being able to be fully functioning. Honestly, without all the messages of support and all that, especially in the early days of coming back and doing this, I think I would have sacked it off. So just thanks. It's meant more to us what you've given us in terms of love and support and respect than you'll ever know. It was deeply alone. I felt deeply alone when I was seriously ill for such a long time, and never ever thought I'd be able to get here and sit here and do any of this ever. So to be where we are is tremendous, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Why is it not enough? Because of this right here. The actual CIA are number 2 in our category. We currently stand, thanks to your support, at number 18. How can we overturn the dark empire of the CIA, at least in the podcast chart? Well, this is what we do. Number 1, go to open the Apple Podcast app. Number 2, go to the icons at the bottom of the screen and choose search. Number 3, search for Milk the Cow Podcast. That's Milk the Cow Podcast. Number 4, click on the show, not the episode. That's the show, not the episode. Number 5, scroll all the way down to ratings and reviews. It is quite far down. And actually, I worked out when somebody asked, I didn't actually know how they'd done it because they have updated the app since before I was ill. So I didn't know this. So again, number 5, scroll all the way down to ratings and reviews. Number 6, click on write a review. Obviously, leave us a lovely 5-star review and some nice words. It massively helps go up the charts, as does obviously subscribing to the channel and sharing it with your friends. We're also on Spotify, and all of this is pretty much the same. I think it's easier to leave a review on Spotify than on Apple Podcasts. So if you do that there, that'd be great. Links for both in the description of this podcast. Now, on Apple Podcasts, this is what it looks like when you scroll down. It's pretty obvious, and obviously it's got a little icon there which says write a review under the one of the reviews. So what an example of that is 5-star review. I'm currently listening to the latest podcast episode, and I'm glad that you decided to cover this topic, because I think not a lot of people talk about the hypocrisy of the media and the government. Really nice review. Thanks to, who was that? Asfar-2002. Cheers, mate. If you're listening, thank you very much. So once again, I can't put it into words how much I'm grateful for all of your support. As I say, that was a dark time that I went through, and I'm still sort of managing it and whatever now, but it's so much better, and I can speak and think and process information and understand things, and I couldn't then when I was ill, and I'll never ever take that for granted again. So all the fucking best tears. Something I wanted to pull up here, right? Liz Truss. So this is from the Financial Times today, I think. It says the Tories are now the most economically right-wing major party in the developed world. Economic left-right position of all notable political parties in developed and emerging market countries. So it's got on the screen there a shift from the Truss shift, jumped the Tories from behind the US Republicans, just behind Brothers of Italy, the new fascist government, like leaders of the Italian government, and they were behind Bolsonaro's fascists in Brazil. So they've now jumped to the most far right major party economically in the developed world. At the other end of it, at the far left, is the Cuban Communist Party, and just above them is the German Die Linke Party, which translates directly as the left. In the middle, towards the middle anyway, the UK Labour Party are to the right of the US Democrats. Now, we could go deep into why that's utterly hilarious, but if you've been paying attention, you would know why. Just a quick one today, so I'm not going to go deep into that, but maybe we will on the show next week. So as you can see, on these metrics, the Tories are the furthest right after a party who was led by somebody who joined a young fascist organization when she was 15. Probably around about the time that Liz Truss was thinking about joining the Liberal Democrats. Oh, how things can change. It's mad what people will do just to be prime minister, isn't it? Like, like people will just do anything whatsoever. But I'm not really even sure with her whether it's like that kind of thing. I think she's just thick as mince. I honestly think she's a bit of a placeholder. And talk about like sort of like failing upwards. I mean, if this isn't the biggest indication of that, she's not pulling the strings, man. She is nowhere near pulling the strings. So yeah, keep an eye out for this. It's, I think, darkly hilarious if it wasn't so serious, but it's still darkly hilarious because I'm a wrong'un, so fuck it. Another thing that I've noticed that are just a couple of things I just want to mention, you know. The attack line is developing in terms of the NHS, and I know there's so much to think about and so much to be aware of, and so, like quite a lot of things to be frightened about. I guess people are really worried about mortgages. I mean, you can see that in the bloody poll results for like Starmer's Labour. A week's a long time in politics, though. So all these people who are cock a hoop, I'd watch what happens next. So anyway, Clarkson's latest bullshit. This was from last Sunday. I think he's got a Sunday Times thing. Never read it, to be honest. Why would you? Jeremy Clarkson, time to hack down our magic money tree. The NHS can go to. You're seeing this like across the media, really. Like people started going, oh, you know, like what we're going to do, like, you know, the NHS, maybe we should bring some privatization in, like we just need to like be seen. It's managed decline, and the Tories been running it down for a long time. Jeremy Clarkson's like David Cameron's best mates. I mean, you think all the Tories aren't thick as thieves when they need to be. They are. He's just a mouthpiece for this shit. Also, Claire Fogues, for many of us, the NHS is no longer sacred. Politicians are frightened of radical surgery, but voters are starting to accept that without it, the health service will die. What a wonderful play on words, Claire, you horrible libertarian ghoul. When you see this, know that the people writing it can afford private healthcare. Just remember that. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few shares left and right in United Healthcare and their friends. It goes on, though. It's not just on the so-called, well, the way the right present themselves. Wes Streeting is right-wing as fuck. This is from The Spectator, Isabel Hardman. Wes Streeting, we need the private sector to help reform the NHS. 24th of September, 2022. If you want to know about funders in the sort of private healthcare sector, specifically around America and the guy called John Armitage, go to a previous episode of this show and you'll find it there. We haven't got time for this little sort of end of week roundup to do that. But Wes Streeting is not to be trusted, and you're seeing in the Sunday Times and all of these other sort of right-wing ghoulish papers, they're all like banging the drum for him. It wouldn't surprise us if he's installed. I obviously don't think they're going to do it anytime soon because of the polls, which they're winning by default because the Tories are so utterly shit. But just things that I want to like put on your radar and let you just know about, because what I'm hearing is, and what I'm getting is, there's just so many things going on. I liken it to trying to chase 1,000 chickens around a 6-foot pen. They'll just swamp you, but there's just so much to look at, and they're going left and right still, but they're just one heaving mass that'll suffocate you. I get that. I feel that myself. So I'll probably do a few of these little sort of tidbits things just so people can know about things and things that might pass them by. That's what you want. Let us know. Got a few comments in, so let us see what you're saying. Gandalf the Red in the house. All right there, Mike. All right, Gandalf, nice to see you. Russ is saying, I don't have iTunes, Apple, and even though I've watched them all through Facebook, YouTube, I'll chuck Spotify and listen to the podcast and repeat and get that listen count up. Don't think it can hurt. Very much appreciated, mate. If people can do that as well, that would be absolutely magic. Be interesting to see what we do with Spotify and whatnot as a result of your kindness, man. So thank you. James Summerson Hollywood in the house. Thick as mince is the perfect description, obviously referring to Liz Truss. But yes, she's the thick as mince puppet, taking the heat for those who are actually in charge. Seems to be to me, war kid. Seems to be to me. It's funny to watch, but also darkly funny. So yeah. Russ is saying, to be honest, I think Truss is like toxic liquid. She just seems to fill shape of the container she's in. Unfortunately for everyone except the rich, as it just happened, she's been poured into a hyper-capitalist, neoliberal, fascist shit bucket. Spot on, pal. Absolutely exactly what's going on. Please do go to patreon.com/cow daily. That's patreon.com/cow daily if you'd like to directly support my work. Also, if you'd like to buy us a coffee or a pint or help us pay me bills, which is the big one these days, please go to the link in the description for PayPal, where you can leave a one-off donation. It would be massively helpful. Also, just help with all kinds of things, equipment, like studio time, the whole works, paying people. Be massively helpful. So to go to patreon.com/cow daily and go to our link in the description of the podcast for both, including the PayPal. Cheers, Huns. Also, if you could watch these shows, if you're watching them live or otherwise on YouTube, we're about a third of the way to being monetized. If you could do it there, we'd do it quicker, and it's going to help with obviously everything when we're monetized. And just give it a real boost. So if you go to youtube.com/cow daily, massively appreciate it. Again, links in the description. All the very best here. Now, mailing list. Going to start putting things out there as we go on our quest to overturn the CIA and reach out to more people. So dead easy. Put your email in the link in the description. Press return. Done. And you'll be getting stuff very soon. Now we're back at the races. Love it. Nice one. So happy. Thank you so much. Number 18. I'm hoping we can get into the top 10 soon, and who knows when or if we can overturn the CIA. With your support, we can do it. If you missed any shows this week, here's a whistle-stop tour of some of the ones that we've done. Can we trust Keir Starmer? As you can imagine, I've said yes and provided loads of evidence of why he can be massively trusted. No, really, there's loads of reasons why you can't trust him. Can't trust him. We'll touch on a few bits of news roundup in there as well. Done a deep dive into what led to Meloni's far-right government in Italy. Specific focus on the sort of last 20 years, basically like mirroring her political career. What went on and continues to go on with the far-right football ultra scene over there. Specifically focused around Lazio, where Meloni was actually first elected. So give it a look. Really something that I wanted to cover for a while, and also thanks to everybody's really positive feedback on that one as well. It's something I've got a keen interest in, like how football can shape politics or kind of mass spectacle. So it's a little bit about that. Also, it's not on the screen, but we did one on Apsana Begum's treatment, the Labour Right, the Ford Report, things about nature. That was just out yesterday, so you can catch those on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also YouTube. Links obviously in the description for that. Just a quick in the day, mates. Thanks very much. I really appreciate everything that you have done. Another quick comment before we go. Zoe's popped up. It's the push for Johnson to come back. Zoe, you and I have both like talked about this over the last couple of months, like since he got off, really. It would seem so. And if we look sort of this far right fascist network of which Johnson is linked to through Steve Bannon and others, I'd suggest it's not over yet. And obviously, during times of economic catastrophe and crisis, we do see far right governments being installed. We have one in the UK. They're further to the right of this fascist government in Italy. So stay woke, kids, stay woke. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everything. Seriously, like words don't even describe how grateful I am. Fucking love to all ears, man. Here's a last word from Paddy Conroy there.
Yeah, I was saying how easy it is to blame me for a gang war. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, because of all the gang wars I've been blamed of in the past.
Bye now. See yous.